of all, let's draw our simple shape. And remember, we want to make this large on our page. So I'm going to kind of aim for this area here being my center. And I'm just going to sketch a large petal shape. And as I get to this edge over here, I'm going to make it just like that. So this is the shape that I'm making for the first petal. For the second petal, I'm going to draw another fairly large shape here. And then I'm going to create a third petal to finish my top layer here. And it's going to be located right here. So there's my 3 petal shapes that I want to create, okay? And then behind this top layer is another layer of petals. There's going to be another one that fits right back here. There's going to be another one that fits right here. And another one that fits right here. So here's my basic shape that I want to work with. Okay. Now I'm going to start adding in some detail to my center. So I'm going to start drawing in some lines with some detail on the ends there. So just draw a few of these in there. When you feel like you have enough of those things in there, then we're going to start adding a little bit of shading. So on each of these petals, there is a little crease down here at the bottom, and that's also where we see some value in our flower design here. So we're just going to add just a little bit of shading here. I'm going to try to make it go in the same direction as my petal is growing. So I'm also going to add some shading in between these petals as well over here. And I'm going to create a shadow that this one's actually going to go all the way to the edge of that petal. And then I'm going to have some indication of some ridges. I'm going to change the shape of this edge of my petal just slightly to reflect those ridges and add in just a little bit of a shadow to some of those, right? So, a little bit of detail there. Now for this petal, we're going to again add in some shading to that area. And we have a similar thing going on here. We're going to just add in a little bit of detail here to this edge of this petal. And we're going to add just a little shadow right here along this edge. Now here where these come together, we're going to add shading in between. And we're going to show a little bit of this underneath side of the petal here, so we'll add a little shading to that. And a little bit of shading here as well, not too much. And we're going to add some shading to this as well. So once we get the shading layer done, then we're going to add our tigerlily spots. We're going to add just a little bit of shading to the edge of this petal here too. A little detail here. And we'll do just a few little ridges down here, and also some shading. So we've got a basic lily. You can also indicate where a stem might be growing. You can indicate some leaves, or yeah, some leaves just coming in here. Maybe there's another leaf coming in through here. Their leaves tend to be long and narrow. And you could even have another tiger lily kind of growing here in the background and indicate a bloom. Right? So you can add lots of little details to that. It's going to look better if you include some other details other than just leaving your background white. You don't want it to be just totally plain and nothing going on. So sketch in some of those leaves and indications of other stems and flowers and things. Okay, let's go ahead and start putting in those tiger lily spots. Okay, and for tiger lily, the spots are going to be thicker in the center, and they're going to kind of ease up as they go to the outside edge of the petal. So make your dot pretty thick here in the center, and then as you get away from the center, spread them out a little bit more. So make them pretty close together in the center. You can even make them pretty large if you want to. Make them a little bigger. And as you get away from that center, you're going to not have as many. And if you want to, you can color it orange or like a bright yellow color with a colored pencil, because usually they're pretty bright and colorful. I've even seen some lilies that are similar in style to this and with the spots and everything, and they happen to be pink rather than orange. So if you want to make yours a slightly different sort of lily, that's okay. So then once you have your spots added, I'm going to go through and I'm just going to add some shading and detail to my background because I know that my stems are going to be darker than this orange lily. So I'm just going to indicate some value here in the background. So I'm going to specifically shade my leaves that I drew in and my stems. But then I may also just add an overall value to my background. And as I get everything where I'd like it to be and the way that I want it, when I feel like I'm finished, I need to make sure and add my artist signature to the bottom right-hand corner of my page. Okay, so I'm going to come around and see how you guys did.